Charlotte, Duchess of Saxe-Meiningen. Known for her penchant for spreading gossip, Charlotte, Duchess of Saxe-Meiningen, was the eldest daughter of Frederick III, German Emperor, and Victoria, Princess Royal and German Empress. She loved to cause trouble and mischief, and was very eccentric. This video will focus on the life of Charlotte, Duchess of Saxe-Meiningen. If you would like to support my channel, please like, comment, subscribe, or even check out my Patreon page. It really helps me to create new content. Charlotte, Duchess of Saxe-Meiningen, was born Princess Charlotte of Prussia on the 24th of July 1860, only 19 months after the birth of her older brother William. Her birth was an easy labour. She was the last grandchild to be born during the life of her maternal grandfather, Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha. During wintertime, Charlotte and her siblings lived in Berlin, and they spent their summers in Potsdam. In 1863, Charlotte's parents bought a run-down property and refurbished it into a farm, which allowed the family to live a simple country life periodically. Due to her father's position in the Prussian army, Charlotte's father was often away from home. Her mother was strict with her children, expecting them to exhibit moral behaviour at all times. She raised her children in English-style nurseries and fostered a love of her native country in several of her children by incorporating aspects of English culture into the home. Victoria and Charlotte developed a strained relationship. Charlotte was indifferent to education, much to the dismay of Victoria. Victoria was brutally honest and rarely hid her thoughts. She would admonish her children when they displeased her. Charlotte proved to be a disappointment to her mother, being nervous and easily agitated. This caused a wedge to form in the mother-daughter relationship. After the deaths of Charlotte's younger brothers, Sigismund and Waldemar, Charlotte grew resentful of her mother's treatment towards her. Victoria indulged her younger children, Victoria, Sophia, and Margaret, while being harsh to her older children, William, Charlotte, and Henry. Charlotte was one of her paternal grandparents' favourite grandchildren. They spoilt her and encouraged her rebellion against her parents. Charlotte also had a close relationship with her brother William, but they grew apart after his marriage to Augusta Victoria of Schleswig-Holstein. Charlotte did not like Augusta Victoria, describing her as plain, slow, and shy, and this strained the siblings' relationship. As Charlotte grew into a young woman, her behaviour became more erratic. She would flirt, spread malicious gossip, and cause mischief for those around her. When she was 16, she became engaged to her second cousin, Prince Bernhard of Saxe-Meiningen. She reportedly fell in love with him while they were driving with her eldest brother. William sped up during the drive, which alarmed Charlotte, and she clung to Bernhard's arm. After a year-long engagement, the couple were wed on the 18th of February 1878. They moved into a small villa near the News Palace in Potsdam. A year after their wedding, Charlotte gave birth to their only child, Princess Theodora, on the 12th of May 1879. Charlotte hated the restrictions placed on her while pregnant and decided that Theodora would be her only child. Charlotte enjoyed society and freedom. She spent much of her time socializing, skating, gossiping, and hosting dinner parties. She would often leave her daughter in the care of her mother, Victoria. Charlotte's grandfather, William I, granted Charlotte and Bernhard a villa in Berlin and transferred Bernhard to a regiment in the city. In 1888, her grandfather and father both passed away, and her brother William ascended the throne in June 1888. Charlotte's social influence increased as a result. She surrounded herself with young officials, wild nobles, and aspiring diplomats. Charlotte reconciled with her mother following the death of her father, but she still took her brother's side in disputes with their mother. Between 1891 and 1895, hundreds of scandalous letters were sent to prominent members of the Prussian court, including the Emperor and Empress. These letters included pornographic images and accusations. They were all written in the same handwriting. William ordered an investigation, but the writer was never identified. Many historians have speculated that it could have been Charlotte or the Empress's brother, Duke Ernest Gunther of Schleswig-Holstein, who wrote the letters. Charlotte's diary was lost during this period and was eventually given to William. In the diary, she wrote both family secrets and critical thoughts of her family, and William never forgave her for the contents of the diary. After this, Bernhard was transferred to Breslau, and this effectively exiled Charlotte and her family. As Charlotte's daughter Theodora grew up, several men asked for her hand in marriage. In 1897, Theodora became engaged to Prince Henry III of Rus, and they were wed a year later on the 24th of September 1898. Though not rich nor high-ranked, Theodora was happy with the match. Charlotte and Theodora did not have a good relationship, and Charlotte disliked Henry. Theodora wanted children, unlike her mother, but was unable to conceive. This pleased Charlotte, who desired no grandchildren. Both Charlotte and Theodora were strong-willed, and for almost a decade the mother and daughter did not talk nor write to each other. Eventually they did, after Theodora underwent a dangerous operation to help her conceive, which outraged her mother. In June 1914, Bernhard became the Duke of Saxe-Meiningen. The First World War broke out, and Bernhard left for the front, while Charlotte remained in the duchy, serving as a figurehead. Throughout Charlotte's adult life, she suffered from many health issues, including rheumatism, joint pains, headaches, and insomnia. During the war, Charlotte's health worsened, and she began to experience increasingly worse pain that became so severe that she took opium. The war ended in 1918, and so did the German Empire. Many of the German duchies, principalities, and kingdoms also came to an end. Saxe-Meiningen was no different, and Bernhard was forced to abdicate. In 1919, Charlotte travelled to Baden-Baden to seek treatment for her heart, and she died there from a heart attack on the 1st of October 1919 at the age of 59. She was buried at Schloss Alstenstein.